There is no enlightened one. There is only one who is seeking further enlightenment. Proper being is process, not a state, a journey, not a destination. It's the continual transformation of what you know through encounter with what you don't know, rather than the desperate clinging to the certainty that is eternally insufficient in any case. Hey guys, today we're taking a look at Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life, an Antidote to Chaos. Now this is kind of cool. I'm having this video come out on the day of Jordan's new book release, 12 More Rules for Life, Beyond Mere Order. I think it'll pop up here. But this is 12 Rules for Life, an Antidote to Chaos, his second of the 3 books he has now written. So a little bit on Jordan Peterson to start off with. He's currently a professor of psychology at the University of Toronto. He also has a clinical practice. I'm not sure how much he does anymore, but he served as a clinical psychologist. Born and raised in Alberta, Canada. Very remote area of the world. And like I said, this is his second of 3 books. His first book was Maps of Meaning, which I have not read. I also haven't read his new book, but that review will be coming for that once I read it. The way I discovered Jordan Peterson, and the way most people probably know about him, is through his YouTube channel, which will be linked below. Jordan Peterson is one of the great philosophers of the West, of modern times, he's truly phenomenal. I love his lectures. He has full lectures from when he was teaching, and he's given other lectures. It's really, really interesting. There's also like short little clips if you're more interested in not you might not have the time for a 3-hour lecture that Jordan gives on Genesis 1 or something like that. But let's just hop right into the book. So this book, 12 Rules for Life, is 12 rules for life. So let's talk about the rules. So this is how the book is broken down. It's 12 chapters. I'll just read off the rules to start off with. So Rule 1, stand up straight with your shoulders back. Rule 2, treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. Rule 3, make friends with people who want the best for you. Rule 4, compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. Rule 5, do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. Rule 6, set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. Rule 7, pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. Rule 8, tell the truth, or at least don't lie. Rule 9, assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't. Rule 10, be precise in your speech. Rule 11, do not bother children when they are skateboarding. That's an interesting one. And Rule 12, pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. Another really interesting one. So this book is one of the most blunt, real book I've ever read. It gets straight to the point. It doesn't really sugarcoat much. It's interesting in how it's laid out. So it starts off with the rule, and it kind of goes off into, I'm not sure exactly how this meshes in, and then it's like, oh, okay, I understand now. It's just a bunch of different. So Jordan pulls a lot from Dostoevsky, Friedrich Nietzsche, the Bible, a lot of Western philosophers. Mythology, that's kind of where he bases all this, and he brings it in, takes those stories and brings it into modern life, how we can use those things in our own lives. And really this book is all about how to live a meaningful life. We're all searching for meaning in this life, and if you're ever feeling lost or not quite sure what you're doing, or you feel like you're wasting your life, you have no purpose, there's nothing, this is a really, really good book to get you on the path. Now, these 12 rules, I don't think Jordan would say that he's mastered them completely. I certainly have not, but the closer we get to these 12 rules, and most likely in his new book, 12 More Rules for Life, the closer you'll get to finding meaning and purpose. But this book is really just showing you how to make the most of your life. Another reason I really appreciate Jordan Peterson is he has a real clear idea on the value of individual responsibility, which is something that I really, really like too. You know, if your life is down in the dumps, it's up to you. You're the only one that's going to be able to change your life. That doesn't mean other people can't help you along the way, but it needs to come from you, right? Just taking responsibility for yourself if you want to have any change in your life. And I really, really like that about Jordan Peterson. So this book was my favorite book that I read in 2020. I know this review is coming out a little later just because I wanted to release it on the day that his new book is coming out. But seriously, this book is just full of so much stuff. It took me a while. I actually wore through, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but I wore through the cover here, reading through it. It took me a little longer just because it's so dense. Took me about a month to read. I was taking about a day or two, 2 or 3 days actually, on each rule, just to kind of hopefully let it sink in. And honestly, a lot of this stuff did go over my head, so I'm hoping to read this in 5 years or so, reread it, just to get the full feel for it. Apparently his Maps of Meaning book is much more of a difficult read, even more so than this one. And I'm sure his new book is not going to be a cakewalk either. I've always been interested in psychology and philosophy too, so this is an excellent book. Like I said, this was my favorite book that I read throughout all of 2020. I'm very, very much looking forward to buying his new book. I'll link below where you can buy this. I don't get any money or anything from it. I'll probably just link Amazon to this book, and maybe I'll link below his new book as well. Like I said earlier, please do check out Jordan's YouTube channel too. I personally prefer that over the book. I love the book. It's great. But hearing him lecture and how he thinks about things too, and how he can speak so cleanly, and he's so articulate, much more so than myself, and just how he can display his ideas in such a nice way. I'm having trouble explaining it right now too, but I highly recommend you check out his YouTube channel. I should also mention a little bit about Jordan. He just went through a lot of medical issues. He's had a kind of a rough past 5 years or so. He's coming back from it. He was addicted to benzodiazepine. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. It was a medication he was taking for anxiety and depression, I believe, but he got addicted to it. He went to Russia for a while. Crazy stuff. There's actually a really interesting interview he did with his daughter. I'll link that below as well too, just kind of talking about what happened and how he started on the process. He's feeling a lot better now, so I'm very, very happy to hear about that, because I think the world needs Jordan now more than ever. So if you can't tell from my review, I can't recommend this book enough. This is truly my favorite book of 2020, probably my favorite book I've ever read. I can't recommend it more, and I'm sure I shouldn't say that. I really hope I can say the same thing about his new book, which I will be reviewing in the next few months, I'm sure. So I think that's all I had to say. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give me a big old thumbs up. Helps me out a ton. Hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss any other videos with me. I post a lot of different kinds of videos, book reviews. I'm a trumpet player, so I post a lot of trumpet stuff. I like bodybuilding. You might not be able to tell, but so I do like supplement reviews and stuff as well. I consider myself to be a bit of a Renaissance man. So if you're interested in any of that kind of stuff, hit that subscribe button. Comment below your thoughts and opinions on this. Love to hear from you, and I will see you on the next one.